welcome to the Noona's Noonchi Deep Dive, being introspective with K-dramas from a mental health perspective. More on relationships this month. Last week it was about the romance. Today it's about the WOmance. Yeah, woman, romance, girlfriend, besties, sisterhood, all of that, which you see so much in K-dramas, but I'm going to highlight two. I just had to narrow it down. 25-21, I'm on a kick right now, 25-21. And Melo Is My Nature, or Be Melodramatic. Those are two different names, but that's what it's known for. I'm going to outline the benefits of WOmance to your mental health. Let's start first with 25-21. Like I said, since it's ending, I've been on a kick. I love that K-drama. Yeah, I know we can talk about the ending all we want, but I want to focus on the WOmance in it between Nahido and Koyurim. Oh my gosh. What a heartwarming friendship. I mean, did you feel the oxytocin, that is the love bonding hormone, just being released galore every time they were talking? It also was released when you're watching a romantic relationship. But Nahido and Koyurim, I mean, think about it. They started as arch rivals, kind of. But Nahido always loved her. She admired her. She was like a fangirl. Pen입니다. She was a fan from the start. Koyurim had to warm up to her. And then when it was discovered that she was Injalmi, her virtual pen pal, for a couple years, and it took her a while to reveal it, but episode 9, the big reveal, and Koyurim asking just for forgiveness and saying sorry because she was so mean to Nahido. Guess what Nahido's response was? This is the beginning of the beautiful WOmance. Forgiveness wasn't even a question for Nahido. She never harbored, I guess, that angst or even, anger or bitterness toward Koyurim, like Koyurim did to Nahido in some way, right? She just said, don't even worry about it. That's not even an issue. And Koyurim is surprised at the answer. But then Nahido says, just promise me one thing. You won't go diving. There was a time when she saw Koyurim dive, right, to release some of her angst and stress, and it scared the heck out of her. And that reference to earlier episodes where Nahido saw Koyurim jump or dive, and it scared the bejesus out of Nahido, going, oh my God. So she's like, please don't do that for your safety. And oh my gosh, Koyurim was just feeling so verklempt, basically holding back tears. Actually, she was crying, being so, I think, thankful and grateful for that response from Nahido. Like, look at me, I'm lost for words. And then they hug. Hugging, this is a side note. In the WOmances especially, you see lots of hugging. The hugging releases oxytocin, the love bonding hormone, the connecting hormone that you need release to feel good. And guess what it does to your immune system? It helps and boosts your immune system. And do you know, even during flu season, okay, and even during COVID, not recommended, but just know that research has shown that with hugs, the power of a hug decreases the chance of getting the flu. Okay, research is still out on whether that affects COVID, but my whole point is it boosts your immunity when you receive a hug because of that oxytocin being released. And you see that in the WOmances and K-dramas. Koyurim and Nahido, friendship blossoms from there, and there's a depth to it, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's the bestie you wish you had. Think about it, a bestie that you're rivaling with in fencing, in a sport, that is difficult to get over when your bestie is your biggest rival. And you don't really see that. That's why it's rare and only in a K-drama, but I believe that can happen in real life. We have some of the best tennis, okay, I'm a tennis fan. So Roger Federer, for example, and Rafael Nadal, okay, they are rivals on court, but they're known to be very good friends and have that camaraderie. Example, Koyurim, Nahido, tennis reference, Roger Federer, Nadal. Just saying, it's possible, it is realistic. And they go through a lot together, bonding and all this stuff, and relationships. But then episode 14, just a beautiful, beautiful episode where Koyurim is going through a lot. Okay, I'm going to get a little emotional. I thought it was beautifully done. And here's what I'm going to point out about the WOmance. Yes, I talked about the oxytocin and all that, but my bottom line message is what Koyurim says to Nahido in episode 14. She's talking about they had to escape the press because, Koyurim was under fire for going to Russia, or basically seen as a traitor for going to Russia, or deciding to go to Russia to help her family out. And that was nobody's business but hers. But they, understandably so, Koreans were upset. They're like, how dare you? You're like our fencing queen before Nahido was. Now you're leaving to go to Russia. You're betraying us. Understandable. But Koyudin, we all know her reasons as viewers. And of course, Nahido was there for her, protecting her, doing a fake press conference so she could escape the fencing practice area, right? That she was stuck in because of the press. But then what she says in episode 14, Koyudin, when Nahido's like, you know what? Hey, I'm always here for you. You got this. You can handle things. And then Koyudin's like, well, I learned to fight because of you. Because Nahido fights for what she believes in and even fought for Koyudin early on, fought those bullies and all that stuff. But Koyudin says, the truth is, I don't want to go to Russia. Okay, you guys are all thinking, what? So what? No. That's her really revealing her innermost thoughts and her own vulnerability and fears. She didn't want to go to Russia. Why would she do that? She wants to stay in Korea. She's Korean. She's proud of being Korean, clearly. But for the sake of the financial crisis of her family, she chooses to go to Russia with the money, for the money reasons. Not for money, because of greed, right? To help her family. And obviously it was the right decision, because later on we see that. Spoiler alert a little bit. But that one line, the truth is, Nahido, I don't want to go to Korea. I don't want to go to Russia, sorry. I want to stay in Korea. I want to be a Korean athlete. I want to be at the National Training Center with you. So my point is, folks, romances that benefit your mental health are where you could be the most vulnerable to girlfriends. I'm focusing on girlfriends today, the romance, sisterhood. Who are those romance girlfriends that you have where you can say, the truth is, everybody sees it this way, but I'm going to tell you, it ain't all that, or I'm really happy about this, or I'm really upset about this. The truth is, Nahido, I don't want to go to Russia. I'd rather stay here with you. Just revealing that vulnerability, and then what's Nahido's response? The hug. The power of a hug. Releasing that oxytocin, and there's tears, but the tears can be joy, peace, happiness, also sorrow. I think it was all of the above for Koyudin. But that just therapy there, therapeutic catharsis of a release of that hormone and feeling connected, and that Nahido understood. And then she was able to go to Russia, and she did great. She was successful. But there's just that one line, folks, is what I want you to look at. How vulnerable and real can you be in your life with your sisterhood friends, besties, girlfriends? Vulnerable in your lowest moment. At that moment, she had to escape the press. That's a pretty low moment if you ask me. She's financially in need, in a crisis with her family. She has love. You can have all the love you want, but still in a crisis. And Koyudin was in that lowest moment and shared that vulnerability to Nahido. Look at that as an example. Now, let's switch to Melo Is My Nature, or Be Melodramatic. Okay, I'm going to be real. Okay, shout out to my friend Vina Hearts. I did not want to see that K-drama. I don't know what it was. It's not like I didn't want to, but it's like, melodramatic, be mellow. Melo's my nature. I kind of knew the feel of it just based on reviews and based on what I knew of the story and just what I could tell. And you know what I do in my life. I wanted something more upbeat, or things that I chose to see. I will not just see every K-drama for the sake of. I want to see quality stuff, spending my time, my self-care watching K-dramas. I decided to finally see it because I felt like a lot of my followers were requesting it, and also I heard it was a great K-drama. Finally watched it, folks. Oh my goodness. The romance in that, the three besties, they're around 30 years old, all in the entertainment industry, documentaries, writing, drama writing, marketing, all of that in the same industry, and they're all in their different experiences and navigating their own struggles, but also joys. But I'm going to point out particularly Eunjung, you know that Vincenzo actress, don't forget her name, Chun Yeonbin, yeah, Chun Yeonbin, I think so. But anyways, she is really going through a lot, basically grief, and then through that all the grief cycle elements. Particularly, I want to say depression, okay, and I'm not going to focus on that too much. But what her besties did, Jinju, I think Hanju, moved in. They moved in without even asking her, like, we're moving in. Yeah, she had a really big place. We're moving in, no questions asked. That's great. Can you do that for your girlfriend besties? That romance is real. Now, side note, little trigger warning, she does attempt suicide, Eunjung, previously. That's why they decided to move in. So that event catapulted them to go, we got to move in to watch over her, right? What great friends. Do you have those friends that in your darkest moments, that they would unexpectedly do that, and she's kind of like, I don't need you. I mean, she didn't ask for their help, right? She was like, I don't need you. But that's okay. That's what they did anyway. That's the WOmance you want. When in your darkest, deepest moments, you need that, but also you could do that for somebody else, right? No questions asked. You're going to be there. You're not going to even pry about an attempted suicide, which is so real and raw and traumatic, but you're not going to even ask about that. And they didn't. Now, several episodes later, they're going through the motions. They're a little concerned about her, right? And she's going through the grief motions, talking to her dead former fiance, which, by the way, is a real symptom. It's not hallucinating. She really, you know when you miss somebody that you love, you do believe that they're there, you envisioning them. That's actually a coping method that can help you. And that's what Eunjung was doing. But it all culminates, because see, she wouldn't talk about it. She was a little detached, even cold even. That's what depression can do, but that's also her personality. Let's be real. She has a little bit of that edge to her. I saw that and I like her for that. But then as she's going through it, she has a cathartic moment of release, watching herself talk to the camera. She's a documentary maker, filmmaker, right? And through her experience, through her work, she breaks down and is able to process what she went through with seeing her former fiance go through an illness. And that in itself is traumatic. Watching someone you love wither away. So that, and then in episode 9, okay, her friends, they gave her space. They're not saying, let's talk, come on. Remember, I shared this before last week. Give folks who are going through traumatic things space. That is actually what they need. They just need to be validated for that. And when they're ready, they'll share. Maybe they'll never share, but you have to be ready for that. And these friends were ready for that. Guess what she said? Eunjung in episode 9. She comes out of her room after processing things, realizing, okay, I'm ready to face this. That's basically what it is. It's a healing moment. People don't see this, but it's a healing moment when you go to your besties, your girlfriends, and say, and also her younger brother, hold me, I need help, I'm really asking for your help, I need you right now, bring it on, girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm imitating her as best as I can. Give me some hugs, I need your love. And she was point blank direct. Can you be that direct? And they were a little like, what? They didn't see it coming, but that's what they wanted. And one of them even narrates, wow, the last couple years, these are the words we needed to hear from her, and we got them, and we are ready for it. And then they all go to hug her. Oh my gosh, that moment. The power of a hug, the oxytocin being released galore. That's all she needed. Do you see no questions asked? Okay? I mean, obviously through the K-drama, later on, things are revealed and all the stuff they're sharing. But in that moment, I ask you guys, and as also if you're on the receiving end of that hug, sometimes, not even sometimes, you just want to be seen, heard, and validated, and basically experienced just with the person, meaning you want them with you, beside you, near you, hearing you. They don't need to give you solutions, right? Am I right? And you know, most of my job is not about solving and giving all these solutions. That is my job, but not most of it. Most of it is validating, hearing stories. Those are powerful, my friends. The WOmance in Be Melodramatic, Melo Is My Nature, that moment of Eunjung sharing. Just hold me. I need some help. I'm asking for help, guys. Boom, 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 boom. That takes courage, and that is when she begins healing. When she asks for help. That's my bottom line, folks. Episode 9, Be Melodramatic, Melo Is My Nature. Asking for help is the depths of what you need in a WOmance, benefiting your mental health. Can you ask for help to those, to your besties around you, or even if they're not your besties, girlfriends? Can you ask for help? Asking for help builds courage. Vulnerability builds courage, and that is the start of healing, my friends. Look at Eunjung's experience in episode 9. That's actually my favorite moment of the whole thing. I just paused and I went, watched it again and went, amazing. That's when her healing began. Obviously, she was processing before then, but the healing began with that oxytocin of a hug that she asked for. Can you do that, my friends? That is the power of a WOmance, and that is relationship example that I wanted to point out today. I think I just spit because I was so passionate about it, because those are the girlfriends you want to have in your life. Koyurim Naido, the Melo Is My Nature, and then Jinju, Hanju, and Unjang. Those besties got to be there in your lowest moments, but then also going the healing with you, right? Healing, trauma recovery, all that stuff, your journey and beyond. Thanks for watching Noona's Noonchi Deep Dive. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to get notified of new videos to come.